Hey there, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative, and my project today is for the Elizabeth Craft Designs January Designers Challenge with the theme of You Fill My Heart. So I have created a Valentine that's interactive and features this die, which is brand new from the Becky Seddon line. It is called Love Struck, and as you can see, it's got sort of that inner heart and then that very detailed outer heart, as well as a few other pieces. So I'm starting off with the smaller inner heart, and I've got a piece of 5 by 12 inch adhesive sheet, you know, kind of like a spare piece that I've used in the past. And I'm pressing a piece of 85-pound white soft finish cardstock, textured side down onto the adhesive. And now I'm going to die cut out the heart, adhesive side up. So I've die cut it out now. And I'm going to cover this with glitter. So I'm peeling back part of the backing sheet to expose the adhesive and covering it in Silverado silk microfine glitter. And then I will just peel off the rest of it and cover the rest of the heart. And then I'm rubbing it down, it's called burnishing, with my fingers to really, really bring out the shine. And it makes it super sparkly. And that color is amazing. It's this pinky silver. It's really, really pretty. And now for my greeting, I'm using Be Mine from the Love Sentiments Clear Stamp set, and I'm cutting apart the Be and the Mine to make two separate words, and I'm going to stack them vertically to stamp them onto that little piece of Gina K Designs red velvet cardstock that you see there. And I'm going to use VersaMark ink because I'm going to heat emboss this with white embossing powder. So the VersaMark ink is clear and sticky, so the embossing powder sticks to it when I pour it over it, as you will see here in a second. And then I'm going to just clean that up. I have a little bit of a little embossing powder in places I don't need it, so I use this stiff paintbrush to clean that up. And then I'm just going to heat set it with my heat tool. Really, really pretty quick and easy, and it really stands out on that red cardstock. And then I'm going to die cut it out with my second smallest die in the Stitch Circles die set, as you see there. So I have also now die cut out the large heart in the Love Struck die set out of just my 85-pound white soft finish cardstock, and you see how detailed that is. And then the arrow pieces I die cut out using rich black soft finish cardstock. So we used everything in that except for those little small hearts. And then I'm also, oh, and there's the Stitch Circles as you see for my little greeting. And then I also use the Valentine Edges die set. So there are 3 dies in that. There's this sort of, I'm calling this the simple hearts. And then there's one that is circles, and then there's a real fancy heart that's very detailed and very pretty, border edge as well. So when you die cut it out, it comes out like this. This is 85-pound white soft finish cardstock, and you can see you can leave it attached to the paper. I'm going to cut it out, and you could just keep going and going with that die and like make a really long border if you wanted to. And then it also has this cute little perforated sort of stitching edge that you could easily leave on, but I'm going to trim it off just because it works better at the without that edge with the rest of the elements on the card. Now my card base is 5 inches by 5.5 inches, made out of 100-pound white soft finish cardstock, and then that pattern paper is from the ModaScrap Simply Love 12 by 12 paper pack that is also cut to 5 by 5.5. And I'm using 10mm clear double-sided adhesive tape to adhere it down to the front. So it's going to cover the whole front of the card base. And then I'm going to also use 10mm adhesive to adhere down the big heart. And I only put adhesive in the center because I wanted that like sort of frilly edge to remain free for just a tiny amount of subtle dimension. Like it lifts off the edge, the back of the card just a little bit. It's very pretty. And then for my Valentine edge, I am using Zig 2A glue pen because this is just so skinny and delicate. And now I'm going to line this up very carefully. This is a little tricky with the edge of the card base. So I don't want any red to show beyond that or behind it. And because it's so skinny, it has a tendency to kind of curve up. So I'm just kind of pushing it down as I go to make sure it lines up really nicely with that edge. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. And now on the back of my greeting, I'm putting a piece of 3mm clear double-sided adhesive tape diagonally across it. And then I'm going to press the back of the arrow onto the piece coming from the top left. And then I'm going to realize I should put my glitter heart down. So I'm going to adhere that down also with 10mm clear double-sided adhesive tape right in the center of the lacy heart. And then I'm going to stick the arrowhead across the other half of that piece of 3mm adhesive tape so it looks like the circle has been struck by the arrow. And then I have a little Mini Action Wobbler. So I'm peeling off the adhesive off of one side and putting it into the center of the circle. And this is kind of like a little spring that will allow that piece to move when you flick it. And it also presses down flat. Now I've trimmed off the excess bits of my Valentine edges there, and once they were dry. Now I'm going to peel off the backing on the other half of the Mini Action Wobbler. These are really cool. This was my first time using one of these, and I really liked it. It's pretty fun. So it lays flat. So you just press it down, and it's going to press basically flat. And then it springs up, and as you see, when you flick the arrow, or even when you just pull the card out of the envelope and it springs up, it's going to jump and kind of go crazy and like move. So it's really, really cute and fun. And I thought the idea of it being sort of struck by an arrow was kind of cute for my You Fill My Heart card this month. So I hope I've given you a little inspiration. That Love Struck die set is so pretty, and it's a really, really simple way to make a beautiful Valentine with not too much work. Supplies are linked in the video description and over on my blog. There are also step-out photos on my blog. And please check out the Elizabeth Craft Designs blog for all of the rest of the design team's great creations for this month's theme. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks so much. Have a great day.